Hey everybody. So I didn't make it up to Frostbite this weekend. My little bug out. Didn't sleep real well. Had an awful lot going on. It's really pretty out right now. The Bloom Fiesta started. It's getting cold. It's overcast and windy today. So I just figured I'd get a fire going, spend time with the animals, clean the house a little bit. But I needed to take a little time to do a video this week, regardless. So, a couple things I want to share on this video. A few things I need to talk about on this video. Maybe just so that I can better understand some things myself. Probably one of the most difficult aspects to my life for the last 4 years was moving through a lack of or a loss of faith and trust in life, in the process of life, in God, in myself. It's probably gone on longer than 4 years. I've been moving through what we have determined to be 8 years of major depression, pretty chronic. I think it comes and goes for some people, but it's been hanging on pretty hard for me for a long time. And it's not going to let up anytime soon, I don't think, but I'm hopeful. My hikes have been good for me. Finding a community of like-minded people has been good for me. But I think what I wanted to express in this video today was how unbelievably surprising and startling and shocking and crazy life can be sometimes. So, last Wednesday, I was at my buddy Brian's house, shooting darts like I normally do in the evenings. And I got a message request on Facebook. As you do. I have a lot of actor friends, I have a lot of comedians, I have a lot of entertainers as friends on Facebook. And every once in a while, somewhat frequently, I get hit with messages for upcoming shows or casting calls. I wouldn't say I'm spammed, but they aren't really messages for me specifically. So when this message came in on Thursday or Wednesday night, you know, you get that little icon with the profile picture. And I glanced down at it and I was like, oh, yeah, this is totally a casting call or something. The little photo was just this strikingly handsome individual. I was like, yeah, this is something I don't have to read right away. So I think it was Thursday night. I was going to bed pretty late. I decided to read it. And it was a young man asking me about where I worked about 22 years ago. If I worked for a bookstore, which I did. And then the next message was a photo of me that I had never seen before. His grandmother had taken it 22 years ago. When me and his mom had a month together while she was going through a difficult time, and we fell in love. At least I fell in love. I'm sure I can guarantee she was torn and going through things too. You can probably see where this is going. So, Friday morning, he and I talked quite a bit, and I was able to acknowledge, I think, what I'd always known, which was that I had a son somewhere. I don't know how to explain it, but you know. You walk through your life with a void that you can't explain, a void that causes questions you can't answer. And it's just a light, but still, from time to time, overwhelming sense of something missing. My really good friend, who would be this individual's uncle, he knew a long time ago that this boy was my son. And he told me that, and I think at that point I knew too, but I had no way to reach out to his mom. I think I tried maybe in 2008 or 2009, but I never was able to reach her. So there are a lot of things that I'm trying to process right now because of this. The first striking hit on my heart is an overwhelming admiration for the courage that this boy has. He's 22 years old. He's grown up with a father, a dad. And I think he always had questions too. I think he always felt something similar to what I expressed. And evidently, for some insurance purpose, there had to be DNA testing done at the beginning of this last week, and it came back with a 0% chance that his dad was his dad. And given that period of time, I was the only other person that his mom had been with. And I think we just knew. If you saw this boy, oh my Lord, you want to talk about freaky? Oh shit. We're in many ways he's a spitting image. Back to my point, I'm so amazed at his courage, his politeness. This is a boy who has every right to understand who he is, what he's made up of. And his approach toward me was nearly apologetic, almost completely apologetic. Didn't want to bother me, didn't want to upset me. And it was not a bother, and it was not upsetting. It was mind-blowing. He's an impressive kid. He is 1 year younger than I would have been when he was conceived. And I hope you sit down for this one. We're born on the same day. We share the same birthday, 7/31. That's freaky. That's freaky shit. But it's also perfect, and it just fits right in line with everything. So, I remain impressed, proud, if not proud, of the balls this boy has. Risking, I don't know, possible rejection, disappointment, God knows what. I'm still not sure I won't disappoint the hell out of him, but he's been really great. And what it did for that absence of faith and trust that I have lived through for many, many years, it restored it completely. I've always, probably since I was 8 or 9, I always marveled at how the moon, being 250,000 miles away and tiny, is the same size as the sun by our perspective, from our point of observation. And the sun is 94 million miles away and massive. There was always logic in that to me. There was sense, there was reason, intelligence. And it always did a great deal for my faith in life. And I have always been provided for in life. Life has always supported me. I've made some stupid choices in my time, major mistakes. I feel like when it comes to me, unfortunately, everyone that I love and care about, they always got the fuzzy end of the lollipop with me. But I've never intended to harm anyone. I have probably as big a heart as this boy does. As much compassion as he clearly has. Later that day, I was told that my job is probably going to end for me November 1st. I've been with Northrop Grumman for 6 years, and had some great opportunities, provided some incredible solutions for them. And my budget's run out on my big project. It's kind of, I guess you could say my baby has flown the coop. And they don't need me to support it anymore, and the money's going to run out, and I don't know. So that day I'm faced with mortgages and life, and how the hell am I going to pay for it in a month? And the wild part is that for the last 4 years, coming across a stressor like that, a circumstance outside my control, I would lose my shit. Oh, I'd be a mess. And I probably wouldn't move through it gracefully at all. The courage that he showed, the compassion he expressed, and just the fact that I have a son who was born on my birthday, we share a birthday. There's so much reason and intelligence behind that, that when confronting maybe being unemployed, I'm not losing my shit, because I am capable and I am skilled. I have an incredible resume. I've done what I could do there. But thanks to that circumstance with him on Thursday and into Friday, I have an ability to let life run its course with faith. I went through a lot of time believing I would never be in that position again. So this weekend I'm tired and grateful beyond measure. A little scared. There's still anxiety, but I'm in awe at how life works. I have had the opportunity, and again, haven't been real graceful with it, but I am lucky enough to be very, very, very in love with a woman. it doesn't change the fact that I'm lucky. A really lucky individual. 4 years ago, my wife had an affair. I divorced, family dissolved. 6 months later, I got drunk and texted a friend about wanting to kill this guy, and it turned into restraining orders. 2 weeks later, I lost my house to an electrical fire. 2 months after that, I started cancer screening on my left lung for a year and a half. A month after that, I got sued by an ex-girlfriend. Just last week, I had to represent myself in federal court on this lawsuit. $1.1 million. I haven't seen my daughter since October of 2016. It's because I made a mistake, a very unintentional, boneheaded mistake. Bless my daughter's heart, she doesn't have any control. Her mom never had the capacity to really ever approach my daughter with my daughter's best interest in mind. And that's all substantiated based on everything that's gone on in 2 years. So my kids have a tendency to get dealt a rough hand in life. But my kids have been resilient and courageous and capable. So smart. Biggest hearts you ever wanted to meet in people. I just sit here this weekend lucky. I feel lucky. I feel very fortunate. I guess this would be my first little vlog. I live alone. And I moved through most of my life alone. And so this little outlet is good for me, I think, I hope. Some people may be able to relate. I think my hope in doing this type of thing and recording and putting it out there with any of the videos I've done in the past and my hikes is, finding people of a like mind, like interests. And even though it was all based on hiking and cooking, we're all human. We all have our condition. We all have our issues. So I'm just going to try to enjoy the rest of the day. And see how this week goes. This woman I'm in love with, I've lost her. There's a lot of loss in my life, and I really do believe that loss is probably the most difficult experience of the human condition. The most painful. But I've gained a great deal. I don't know exactly what I have gained, but oh man, I've gained a lot. It's funny how everything's really kind of bittersweet. I'm so excited and happy about finding out that I have a son. But right now I can't think about it without my heart breaking for his dad. That individual is experiencing probably some perceived loss over this. Even though he'll never lose his son will never lose his dad. God, it's got to be hard. His dad's never going to lose his son. They're never going to lose each other. this has got to be difficult on him. So I have a lot on my plate. And, you know, the ball's in this boy's court. I remain available. I'll do everything I can to answer questions and help him understand who he is. Oh man, but it's not my place to interfere or anything. That's my nose. Are you enjoying your fire? Yeah? You're a good boy. That's all I've got. I'm going to figure out how to get by this week. Still have a job to do for a while. I'm going to do it well. Thanks for joining my first little vlog. Go figure with me, it wasn't an extremely uplifting thing, but someday maybe. Y'all have a good weekend. See you next time.